An apology from the head of the Roman Catholic Church Monday as Pope Francis begged forgiveness from victims of sexual violence at the hands of priests. Pope Francis welcomed 6 unnamed abuse victims, 2 each from Ireland, the UK, and Germany, to the Vatican on Sunday. There, he reportedly had dinner with the group Sunday evening before holding a private mass and meeting with them individually Monday. According to the BBC, in his apology, Pope Francis referred to sexual abuse within the church as grave crimes, adding, "I beg your forgiveness for the sins of omission on the part of church leaders who did not respond adequately to reports of sexual abuse." The meeting was the first between the Pope and victims of sexual abuse since he was elected to the papacy 16 months ago, a span of time that has drawn criticism from some. That, along with the perceived lack of action since Pope Francis and his predecessor began meeting with victims of sexual abuse. NBC quotes Mary Kaplan, leader of the Survivors Network for those abused by priests. Over the past 2,000 years, 2 popes have met with about 24 clergy sex abuse victims. Very little has changed. A dozen popes could meet with 100 victims. These meetings are public relation coups for the Vatican and a distracting placebo for others. Some in the media also pointed out Pope Francis didn't meet with any victims from Argentina, his home country, or the United States. As NPR notes,
the person who heads the Pope's Commission on Protection of Minors is Cardinal Sean O'Malley, Archbishop of Boston, so the absence of American victims is striking.
Criticism aside, the Catholic Church has made some steps toward ending sexual abuse within its ranks. Back in May, the Pope promised a zero-tolerance policy against child abuse within the Church. And in July of 2013, the pontiff tightened laws against sexual abuse within the Vatican. According to the Telegraph, changes included a broader definition of the category of crimes against minors, including the sale of children, child prostitution, the recruitment of children, sexual violence and sexual acts with children, and the production and possession of child pornography. The Pope also made those crimes punishable by up to 12 years in prison. Pope Francis's predecessor, Pope Benedict, reportedly met with survivors of sexual abuse some 6 times during his 8 years in the papacy. This was the first time a meeting with sexual abuse survivors was held at the Vatican. For Newsy, I'm Jasmine Bailey.